Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your deep dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, intuitive tarot reader, and professional witch, and today I'm talking about a month ahead spread for March. Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every Monday morning to check out the latest episodes. If you love the show, the best way to support it for free is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. If you want to access the most up-to-date info on my upcoming events, presentations, musings, and info and photos of my day-to-day life, my newsletter is a one-stop shop. The link to join the newsletter will be in the show notes. If you're interested or know someone that might be a good fit to be a guest on the podcast, my inquiry form to be a guest is also in the show notes. And you can find the links for any of these offers, of course, in the show notes or newly on my Patreon, in addition to the images of the cards I pull for each episode. All right, so today I am doing a month ahead spread for March of 2026. Of course, this spread is versatile. You could use it every month. But I am doing this in particular for March of 2026. So I got this spread from Angelorum.co. I just looked up month ahead spreads and I really liked this one. So in this one in particular, you are pulling a Major Arcana card, a Court card, and a Minor Arcana card as your three cards that you're going to pull. And so what they want you to do is shuffle, get ready to go. And then instead of splitting the deck right from the beginning and kind of putting all the Major Arcana cards together and the Court cards, the Minor, and then picking one from each, you just pull from the top until you get one of each. So I went ahead and did that. So I shuffled, I cut my deck because that's what I like to do. And then I flipped it over and just kind of went through until I found, okay, first a Major Arcana card, second a Court card. So one of the Page, Knight, Queen, King cards, and then finally a Minor Arcana card. And so once you do that, and I'll talk about each card that I pulled as we go through. But yeah, so the Major Arcana card, the sort of question or what it's imbibing for the month is the main developmental theme in the month ahead. So for me, I pulled the Emperor card, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it fully. And I am pulling from the Desert Illuminations tarot deck here by Lindsay D. Williams. Very colorful, gives very spring energy in its multicolored fashion. So yeah, for the main developmental theme in the month ahead, I pulled the Emperor. So the planet or zodiac sign associated with the Emperor in this deck is Mars or Aries, which is kind of perfect. We are in that season, or we are entering that season, the element of fire and the root chakra. It says Geronimo is represented with the Emperor card in the Desert Illuminations Tarot. He was a prominent military leader and medicine man of the Apache people. He represents a strong foundation of leadership, love, and wisdom. When we choose to apply this energy to our current situation, we can gain proper momentum to become more organized, strategic, and focused on a plan and see it through until the end. So we're planning, again, we're kind of setting a foundation, perhaps for a year or for something coming up. We're getting momentum, we're getting organized, strategic. And again, we just kind of have that. We're getting out of the winter weather, hopefully. We're coming into spring. Things are starting to bloom, perhaps. And we're also starting to think about, okay, what do we want to lay out for a whole year? I know in the sort of traditional Gregorian calendar where January begins our calendar year, we can feel forced to create new goals and new things and kind of have that going early. But within the sort of lunar calendar, we really don't start a new year until partway through February. And so really we're in kind of month one as this is coming out, this episode. and kind of planning for our year ahead. And if you want a particular year ahead spread, I did a Wheel of the Year spread, episode 267, that came out on January 26th. If you want to go through that with me, that was also very fun. If you want to do more of like a whole year ahead, if you're feeling ready for that now. All right, so that was the Emperor for this one. So for our next card, you get a Court card, and it says this card is for the best mental attitude to cultivate. And here I pulled the Queen of Jugs, which in this deck is the Queen of Cups. So now we're moving into the watery sign. All of my cards that I pulled today have like very a lot of people in them. They're all not all of these cards are like that. Some just have like desert or a car or aliens in them. But this one, all of three have people, which is interesting. Okay, Queen of Jugs, that's what I'm doing. So for the Queen of Jugs, or the traditional sort of Queen of Cups, it says the Queen of Jugs here is based on the iconic cowgirl sharpshooter Annie Oakley, who took the West by storm with her performances in Buffalo Bill's Wild West shows. She gained public attention by outshooting one of the most experienced marksmen in her field. This feat immediately turned her into a feminist icon. Her intuitive abilities made her one of the best sharpshooters in the West, and allowed her to rise from a life of poverty into a life of wonder, adventure, and wealth from her performance career. You are to trust your gut instincts and know that you are operating from a place of emotional maturity. You know how to stay grounded during stressful situations, so stand firmly on the dirt, tap into your heart, and trust that you can realize all your goals and dreams. You can absolutely hit that bullseye, as Annie Oakley did. So again, our mental attitude that we are cultivating for this month is, right, honing into our intuition, kind of finding like new ways to operate perhaps, or kind of to let our skills or expertise shine through, and then kind of like not being afraid to be the best at something, right? Or to kind of like take the world by storm, or to show up in a way where maybe people sort of doubted you, or like as the underdog, right? And it says again, stand firmly on the dirt. So like ground yourself, right? Tap into your heart, the things you care about, and trust that you can realize all your goals and dreams, and you can hit the bullseye. So you can actually achieve the thing, right, that you are going towards here. So that's the energy we're cultivating this month, which I love, or the mental attitude, right? So with the Emperor, we have kind of like the leadership, we're setting goals. With the Queen of Jugs, it's like, okay, you can do it. Now we just got to actually do it, right? You got to get yourself out there and perform, right, in that way. And then for the Minor Arcana card, for our third card here, this is the action advice. So, how do we do it, right? So we have okay, here's the theme, here's the attitude, right? I'm mentally cultivating, I can do anything, right? And now we move into the action advice, which I pulled the Three of Chilies here, which is equivalent to the Three of Wands, because chilies are spicy. That is how I remember with this deck. And I think this card has a bit more of like a subdued energy. So this is our action advice. So for the Four of Chilies, the Three of Chilies, not the Four, so the Three of Wands. It says a woman in a gorgeous woven blanket looks beyond an adobe archway decorated with chili ristras, which are the strung up chilies. She is looking ahead at all the challenges and opportunities behind or beyond the New Mexico blue skies. She is about to step through the archway into the unknown. Stability and grounded energy are within you as you plan for the future. Everything is well underway, and you are operating from a place of familiarity and comfort, which makes it easy to proceed through the door. If you love to travel, this card symbolizes the energy needed before taking or planning a big trip. Of course, leaving home can also be scary and stressful. Your grounded and stable energy will help you set off on the right foot for your journey with confidence and an open mind. So perfect. So again, we have the sort of leadership energy as our theme. We have the, okay, now we planning, and now we're like cultivating our attitude of being really good at something and kind of the execution of it. And then our action that we're going to take, right, is planning for our future, planning for adventure, for traveling, for leaving our perhaps safe, comfortable place or job or relationship, and we are moving into something that starts right. We're stepping through the portal, through this archway into like a new journey. So we are kind of, that's the action that we're taking, is like, okay, I'm going to do it. Like gathering ourselves, right? And looking ahead for challenges and opportunities going forward and stepping into the unknown, right? Like that can be very hard to do. And again, these cards are sort of outlining like, okay, this is how you do it. So that was pretty quick and easy for today. I'm going to go ahead and again, that was the Desert Illuminations Tarot deck by Lindsay D. Williams. I'm going to pull from the Anima Mundi deck by Megan Weirer-Wenden to pull our card for kind of to see what the cards have to say, to see if there's anything else we need to know or clarifying message for this month ahead or for this episode. Okay, one more shuffle. Cards are shuffling so well today. Okay, I pulled the Knight of Wands, which here depicts a hare or like a bunny rabbit flying, hopping through the sky. Wands. Okay, so this is the Knight, a jackrabbit, or Lapis californicus in Latin. The charming Knight of Wands makes things happen. He is passionate, ambitious, and action-oriented. It is not afraid to try new things. Be enthusiastic about your new projects and enterprises, but be sure not to act too impulsively. So upright, this card is about action, energy, passion, charm, fearlessness, and adventure. I feel like that just kind of emphasizes what we were already learning, right? We're in fire energy with the wands. We're coming into Aries season. There's passion, ambition, action oriented, right? We're moving forward, right? This is a card of a lot of movement. We're not acting impulsively, right? We are planning. We're the Emperor. We are planning and we are thinking ahead. And we're also like cultivating some fearlessness and adventure, right? That maybe we don't know what's next, but we're, whatever it is and whatever kind of lines up, we're going into it like full force. And that is very much the energy of spring. So I kind of love that. All right. Well, that's it for today. We'll keep it short and sweet. So what to expect this year. So weekly episodes are coming out on Monday mornings. Guest episodes will be coming out about once a month. I think next week we will have a guest on here, which is super fun to record. Every episode is on video, going out on Spotify and YouTube. On Spotify, it's just under Everyday Tarot. On YouTube, it's Camille A. Saunders at youtube.com or youtube.com/@Camille A. Saunders. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the podcast, you can fill out my form to be a guest, linked down below. Links for the decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on Patreon if you'd like to look at them or purchase them. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. You can tune in every Monday morning to check out the latest episode. You can email me, me@CamilleASaunders.com, with your thoughts, questions, and more. And I would love love to hear from you I've been putting things on Patreon. I'm trying to get some interest over there and kind of find out what my audience wants. Hello, Camille from the future here. So I wanted to talk about that another way you can support the podcast is to become a part of the Everyday Tarot Patreon family. So you can head on over there to check out the full episode blog posts for every episode for free. You can even listen to the podcast episodes through the Patreon app. And then if you want to support the podcast further or perhaps get some of the perks, you can join the lovers level on the Patreon for lovers of the podcast to get an Everyday Tarot sticker mailed to you personally, to get access to live streams, a shout out on the podcast when you join, ability to vote in polls, and more. And then if you join the Witch Bitch level, you get access to all of that. And additionally, you also get a one-time personalized 5-card tarot reading on the topic of your choice when you join. You get early access to episode topics, live event VIP access. You get to be part of our private community and a chat there, as well as request topics for future episodes and more. So definitely head on over to the Patreon, check out the different things over there, check out the full blog posts, where I go through, if I'm doing a spread, it puts the whole spread in there, it shows all the cards, journaling prompts, all types of things. And then again, if you want to support further, you can get some of those extra perks. I have over 50 stickers, so I would love to start mailing some of these stickers to folks. So yeah, go ahead and join the lovers level on Patreon to get a sticker sent to you so you can help promote the podcast in real life. All right. Okay, that is all for now. See you soon. Thanks for listening to this episode, and bye for now.